the beauty of your show is I think your show serves multiple purposes, but one of the things is that it certainly clearly appeals to what you're interested in, and you act as a watchdog. Like, I watched the Celsius video that you put out recently, and I watched it today, and I was like, this is so valuable, because I'm seeing all these people, because you showed those people that did get scammed and the people that get fucked over by this guy who created this thing, and they have a voice now. And you can also, like, let all these other motherfuckers that are trying to do something like that know that Coffeezilla's out there, and he's going to find you, and he's going to put you on blast, and people are going to know, and it's going to be more difficult for the next person. Again, it's not the wealthy investors that will sue. It's these people that put in $2,000, and it was the only $2,000 they had. That's where it's so valuable, and I know that you feel that way, and it comes through in your video. And I think that's why it's appealing, and that's why it's working.
I really discovered early on that nobody cares about the numbers. The numbers are like the headline or whatever, but ultimately you can't make this stuff doesn't matter until you get people involved.
Yeah.
Until you hear the victims talk. They're the heartbeat of everything. Because until you hear that, like, what's $1 billion? It's impossible to know.
Yeah.
And it's not, and then you watch the guy and you're like, who would fall for this? It's easy to get cynical if you just see the numbers and the guy who defrauded people.
Yeah.
The second you humanize it and you show a person, and all of a sudden you see someone with all the same problems, and you can just tell, you can see it in their eyes, and they're just wrecked by this guy who truly they believed in.
Yes.
It's like the biggest betrayal. You trusted somebody with everything, and then they stab you in the back. Like this Alex Mashinsky, CEO of Celsius, his whole thing was banks are evil, which is not crazy. I mean, it's like, you can understand why a lot of people resonated with that. They're like, and it wasn't even they're evil.
They're heartless.
Yeah. Sorry, I was going to correct that. He said like they're greedy.
Yeah. Oh.
And that's true. Like it's like,
and he's not.
Yeah. He goes like, banks are not your friends. True statement, Alex. And then this interviewer's like, but Alex is your friend? And he's like, yeah. He's like, you can take the same ride as me, 8%. 8% a year. I'll just give it to you. We're doing the same thing as the banks. We're loaning out your money, but we're going to pass on 80% of the revenue back to you instead of the banks, which they take all your money, right? So people bought into that. They said, that sounds great. Like hey, the internet changed everything. We think crypto's going to change everything. Why not have a bank that instead of serving its shareholders, it serves its customers? It kind of like, there's something that makes sense there. It's really compelling. And then come to find out, Celsius was never making money. They said they were paying out, you with their profits. They were paying out you with new deposits. Like new people were coming in and they were paying you out. And so it was this giant Ponzi scheme where they set the rewards because they knew if it's high enough, people are just going to flock to them. And so, but they had this compelling explanation for why, like it kind of made a little bit of sense. And then when it finally goes wrong, he just walks away. I mean, yeah, he's getting sued civilly, but where's the criminal action? He's going to go to jail? Probably not. And it's like, that is so messed up. That that itself is a crime. I think it's so sick that we throw the book at people who will rob a store with a gun, right? Steal $10,000. People who steal millions, billions of dollars often get away with it because it's just done a little differently. There's not the drama of the gun and even if no one gets shot. It's just he pushed a few pencils around, he got you to sign a few shady, but that's just as sick and twisted. But it's just done in a way that socially is slightly more acceptable, and they get away with it way more often. But I would contend that these people are literally financially murdering people. After Celsius, people committed suicide because of, literally, it's a fact. People committed suicide because they lost everything.
I'm sure FTX as well.
Of course. The bigger the scam, there's just statistically, it almost becomes impossible that you don't at least, if not financially, sort of metaphorically murdering a family, you literally kill somebody. And people walk away with either only the guy at the top goes down or nobody goes down. And that is crazy to me. It's like, what message are we sending via our regulators? Basically, it's like, hey, you're going to get a slap on the wrist if you're caught.
And what you just did, is why you're so successful. That's real. This is how you really feel. This is your and this is why your show works. And this is it right there. Like what you just did is why I'm interested in your show. Because this is your real thoughts and opinions.
Something has to change.
Yes.
I mean, something has to change where you can't just go on like this, where if we're really going to allow, if we're going to, take our financial future in our own hands, we're going to allow these influencers to talk about finance, somebody has to be there when things go wrong.
Yes.
And there has to be consequences. If you lie and if you cheat and you steal, there has to be a guy at the end of the day who's going to put you in trouble. And I think a YouTube video is not nearly enough. That's why I'm constantly saying, like, hey, can someone from the government get involved? Like, go lock this guy up. Go lock somebody. I know it's like a lot of this is new, like the crypto stuff is new, but they're doing old crimes in a new way.
Yes.
It's always been illegal to steal people's money.
Yes.
And that is what's happening. And that's why I put these people on my show. So you don't think it's some like rug pull where it's all fake money. No, there was real money in these companies and they just stole it a new way, but they're still stealing money. And the fact that we haven't found a way to put some of these people in jail is mind-blowing to me. And we're sending a bad message that, hey, just keep doing it. Just go start a new one. There are people now, they were trying to start GTX after FTX.
Oh, boy.
Some new guys were trying to start GTX, like the new thing.
And then
it's
HTX is next.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
It's just like, you have to, that's half the purpose of the law is it's partly, for, you did something wrong, you get punished, but also part of it is you do something wrong, you send a message you socially signal that we do not tolerate this. And right now the social signal we're sending and accepting is if you scam, there's a very high likelihood you will get away with it. And if you don't get away with it, you'll get a little slap on the wrist. You'll get a little fine. And that's not working.